So the stage is set in Venezuela for the incumbent President Nicolas Maduro to take oath for a third straight term. But the country remains embroiled in a political standoff divided over the electoral mandate that was delivered in July last year. Now, ahead of the ceremony, the governor of the Venezuelan state of Táchira, that borders Colombia, has shut down its borders, citing a possibility of an international conspiracy to allegedly disrupt peace in the country. Now, the order to shut down the border till Monday morning has come directly from the president himself. Now, ahead of Maduro's swearing-in ceremony, the opposition coalition leader, Maria Corina Machado, made her first public appearance in many months. However, it quickly spiraled into a very chaotic situation after Machado's team said that she'd been freed after a brief detention. Now, previously, she was detained amidst gunshots while leaving a protest in eastern Caracas. The Machado's Vente Venezuela movement has said that the motorcycle caravan in which she was riding was actually shot at. The Machado had urged the protesters to peacefully flood the streets and had repeatedly asked the members of the police and the military who had guarded the polling stations during the elections to back Gonzalez's victory. Now, the Venezuelan opposition is protesting around the country in an 11th hour effort to put some pressure on Nicolas Maduro, as both the opposition and also the ruling party claim to have won last year's presidential election. Now, shortly after Machado's detention, various Latin American governments and also US President-elect Donald Trump lambasted the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, saying in a post on Truth Social that the freedom fighters should not be harmed. However, Venezuela's interior minister has dismissed the opposition's claims that leader Maria Corina Machado was detained in Caracas and described it to be a complete lie. Now, Venezuelans living outside the country also rallied against Nicolas Maduro, who takes oath as Venezuela's president for a third straight term. The opposition, for its part, still maintains its electoral victory claim as support for it swells in other South American nations. Take a look.
Jamás será vencido, unido, jamás será vencido, el pueblo.
It's a fact that they are really out of place. These are facts that go against human rights. Venezuela needs a change. The president who won must take office and Venezuela must finally be free.
Like all the Venezuelans who are here, we are searching for a new horizon. I don't know, a new life, better quality of life, because truth be told, in Venezuela, it is not possible.
right, so that is the kind of support which the opposition seems to be enjoying in different parts of South America. Now, remember, Nicolas Maduro has said that the statements that have been given by the American leaders stating that the election was possibly won by the opposition is essentially election interference into the Venezuelan political system, and it now remains to be seen as to how things proceed from here. Nicolas Maduro, who claims that he's won this election fair and square, is going to be sworn in as the president of Venezuela for the third term in a row. All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what is happening at this moment in Venezuela, we're joined by Mr. Diego Sequeira, who's a journalist and also a columnist, and he's joining us live from Caracas in Venezuela. Mr. Sequeira, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Let me start off by asking you this. You know, there's been a huge amount of interest across the world about the elections that have happened. Nicolas Maduro is going to be sworn in as the president for the third straight term. But a lot of people within Venezuela and indeed within Latin America and also the United States of America say that his electoral victory is not what it appears to be, and it is the opposition that actually won this election fair and square. As someone who's sitting in Caracas, tell us, how do the people within Venezuela view this?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Well, by the way, the oath is precisely on its way right now. This is the usual. This is not the first time we are into this kind of narrative, battle of narratives, according to which side is telling the truth. It's just the usual. If we see it from the hindsight, even 20 years on, this is not a different thing. Perhaps the difference this time it could be the resources they're trying to use in order to make their own narrative coherent. Of course, they have the vantage point of having the best, usually most of the Western global system regarding media and politics. So in that sense, it's that kind of struggle. But it's not the same view if you take it from Venezuela, actually.
Right. Now, this could be an issue of narratives, as you put it, but, you know, on the ground, Venezuela at this moment is on the edge. You know, one of the states bordering Bolivia has, in fact, shut off its borders and it has amped up its security, where the leader there has said that there is a possibility that external forces could try and foment trouble and disrupt the peace in Venezuela when Nicolas Maduro is sworn in again. How realistic is the possibility that this swearing-in ceremony will pass off peacefully without violence?
Well, first of all, throughout the day, it's already beyond 10:30 here in Caracas. There's no major event going on. Usually it has been the case that there's been conflict, not conflict, but people trying to get into the country from the Colombian border, which there are many power structures there, criminal networks, and also several kind of activists that would be interested in trying to use it. So it's a preventive measure more than something that's going to happen. I don't think there's not going to be any significant event in that sense today. So that's part of the elements you have to take into account. This has happened before. Think about February the 23rd with Guaidó in 2019. They tried to ramp up the border. So it's a preventive measure more above anything else.
All right, we'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sequeira, for joining us all the way from Caracas and getting us that perspective there.
Thank you very much.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.